stop, so gonna get on the ride. Twisting and turning through life. No matter how rough it gets, I'll get by. Home moves with me where I roam. It's in every dream I make my own. I'm never alone. I know that every day will always bring me something new. So I spread all my footprints around, yeah. I know that every day will always bring me something new.
Well, what's this? Another typical Sunday night of the whole family sitting on the two-person couch? Not really. Tonight, we're rolling out the Gunnin' to Go YouTube channel. So by the time you see this, this is probably going to be like a dozen, maybe more videos in. But we're sitting here at the KOA in St. Petersburg, Florida, and we're going to be doing some beach time this week. We just got here today. It is right here in Florida where the channel is getting its first video. I edited this video in Texas. I uploaded it in Biloxi, Mississippi. It's going to get rolled out here in Florida. And that's exactly how we want this channel to be, is to be taking place across the whole country. So it's kind of cool that the first video worked out that way. It's kind of cool too because thank you to the 56 of you who have already subscribed to the channel, and no, those aren't bots or anything. Those are legit people who we've bumped into, probably a dozen on this trip, that have asked, like, what's your channel? And it's like, you know, it's not something I wanted to tell people because there's nothing there, but people have been like, what's your channel? Pool conversations and
hot tub conversations.
All the hot tub conversations. People are like, what's your channel? And so we've told them, oh, it's gotten to go. You know, there's nothing there yet, but there will be videos coming. So much appreciated. So without further ado, we will roll out the channel. All right, go and hit public. Done, and here we go. Can we get a countdown?
3, 2, 1.
Blast off!
Yay.
All right, first one is up. It's live, and the 56 of you that are already paying attention, at least you got a 10 or 12 minute video to watch, and there will be many more coming, I promise you. We've already got 10, 12, 15 of them waiting in the pipe to get through. I remember uploading my first one to GunninGamerz, and it was just like, meh, because there, you know, there was nobody there. I had no community. And this one's a little nerve-wracking because we've got the gaming community, and now we've got a lot of friends we made along the way, and there's also folks that we've met on this trip, and they're waiting for this video. So there it is. I hope everybody enjoys it. We look forward to the many more episodes and many years yet to come, don't we, guys?
Yep. Yeah.
Alex?
Yeah.
It's bedtime. We're all exhausted. We're out here having a little rip out here. Oh, what is this called? Pinellas County. So it's a walkway. It goes for like 20 miles or something. It goes across the county. Farther than my attention span could last on Google. But there's like people riding bikes down here. Pretty cool shot there that's going like over the water on this big bridge, and then it gets into town and there's bridges going over the main roads. And we're out here doing the scooter since we can't have our bikes with, not yet. Maybe we'll get something fashioned up to do that, but there's a lot of people ripping through here in a hurry, so we want to kind of get out of the way. Nice little night for a little scooter rip, right? That was pretty fun. We came all the way from down there over the water, and now we're sitting out here on this kind of a nice little bridge right in the city, right here. A lot of traffic down there. Ooh, Aiden, look at that vet down there, buddy. Hey, you guys decided to join us. Yay!
You have to go at a 4-year-old pace, you know?
You had to what?
You have to go at a 4-year-old pace.
Alex, you doing okay, buddy?
He's doing good, he just has to go a little slower.
This lady just flew past us in like an electric buggy of some sort. I was just telling the kids, if we had our bikes, we could go for miles and miles on this. And that's the cool thing about it. I mean, you have to get out and explore. Every city across the country has something cool to explore. Don't get me wrong, noisy traffic is not our thing, but it's just fun, you know, to get out and go down a different trail and see some different scenery. And the kids look like they're entertained watching some of the cars.
That guy needs a new exhaust.
Yeah, he does. There's a lot of people here. We could play a game. Who needs a new exhaust and who doesn't? Makes you realize how important it is to keep your cities clean, because all the stuff that blows around the streets and out of your garbage can ends up in places like this, and it's just really sad to see a mama and her ducklings and they're swimming in all that garbage, kind of a runoff area underneath the city street. We just stopped on this bridge out here. Beautiful, beautiful sunset. And we were coming over and I saw a bunch of splashing out there. No idea what it is. I'm thinking it's manatees because they're definitely in the area. Could have been dolphins. Somebody was like, I think it's a whale. I don't think it's a whale out there. Could be wrong, but there was definitely some stuff splashing around, so we stopped to admire that for a little bit. Then I asked the kids to name some things that they see around them, man-made, that they admire, and they mentioned the boats and the bridge, stuff like that, the building over there. And we asked them what's something around that they admire that God made, and they gave some examples: trees, water. I think Alex liked the moon, but Ashton here had the best one. What did you say? You said Austin, his brother. How sweet! God. What a goof. But it's true. And I said I should have said mama, because I could have been on her good side tonight. But beautiful, beautiful sunset out here. Amazing breeze. Just a nice little night to cruise on the scooter. So we've never kayaked as a family. You can hang on there, you guys are doing good. We've never kayaked together as a family. So we thought, what better place than an alligator infested waters of Florida, right?
Yeah. I've canoed before. I took canoe lessons.
Yeah, but we've never as a family gone out all together and gone kayaking. So watch out, there is a gator right underneath your boat there. He's coming up. They say the gator's pretty little here, so we're gonna get paddling. It is unfortunately windy. So yeah, as we were trying to say, it's a very windy day out here. And unfortunately, we just kind of had only today to do this, so we thought, why not? So we're just out here kind of checking out some of these mangroves, and the gators in this area, as I was saying, they're not supposedly that big. They're pretty small. I guess they don't survive here. I'm not really sure the reason, but they said it's pretty uncommon to see them, or bigger ones anyway. So we're not worried about it. It's great. It's lovely to be out here. For May, this isn't too bad, is it?
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yep, this really happened. I'm out here in 2 to 3 feet of water looking for my frickin' GoPro. Cannot believe it. Little update into the future. Somehow I lost a bunch of footage from my main camera. We lost the video explaining what happened to this GoPro. So basically this is exactly what went in the water. I had this clamped to the side of the kayak, and the kayak was kind of like beveled and it got wet. Water was splashing in there. Eventually the water just lubricated it in a way that the clamp closed, and that was the snap you heard, and the whole thing just fell right in. It was a big mistake. I've got floaty devices for this. Didn't have any of that on that day, and it was just a big, costly, almost costly mistake having this go in, brand new that it was. So we ended up calling a bunch of divers and found a few people that were willing to at least give us names of folks that would help. Because of the dollar amount of about $500, nobody really wanted to help us out. They're looking for things that are of much more value, maybe finding like a ring or something. One of the divers we talked to had a friend of a friend who had just gotten a brand new underwater metal detector, one of the best on the market, and he was looking to try it out. So this guy contacted us, came out the next morning. I think he drove about an hour and a half, and he met up with us, which I couldn't get a hold of him the next morning. It ended up being that he was an hour and a half late. He got held up at work, so I was getting really stressed out, but the guy showed up and he ended up looking around in the water for it and could not find it. I was out there with him, and he had finally said, here, you take the metal detector, I'm going to take my mask and I'm going to go around and look under the water for it, and you take the metal detector and go where you think you might have dropped it. So we searched a wide area. Within probably a minute, I got a hit on this metal detector, and I had never used it before, never used any metal detector, but I'd gotten a hit. And he came over, he dove down, and the water was probably up to about chest level, and he dove down and grabbed what was underneath, and it was an old can. So I was kind of thinking at this point, you know, this is going to be a really long process if, you know, we're going to be hitting a bunch of metal debris in the water. So about a minute later, he swims away. I'm going, boom, I get another hit. This time he comes over, he dives down, he pops up, turns around, and has this. And I was so excited. I mean, the thing was covered in mud.
All right, might have got a big
We
shark
found
swimming
it.
by. Did shut it off?
Oh, yes! That was an adventure. Sat there for 24 hours in the water. It basically recorded for about a half an hour of that black and loud underwater sounds before the battery finally died. I was able to bring it in the bathtub and wash all the mud, the sand, and get all the salt water off, and then everything was working good on it. It was a little nerve-wracking as a northerner to be out there because there were gators in the area. I had gone online that night after it happened and was doing some research. There was plenty of people posting pictures of gators in the water at that KOA, so they were there. Obviously we didn't see any that day, and I was very thankful for that. One of the other valuable lessons that I learned, and it's ironic because I lost footage from a different camera, but I had about 2 episodes worth of footage on this camera when it went in. I was just really behind getting everything backed up, and I got lucky because I almost lost pretty much everything from when we left Texas all the way up into that point. So it was pretty stressful, and glad that it all worked out in the end and we found the camera. In the future, I've kind of decided if the GoPros go anywhere near the water, they're going to have some sort of a floaty device on them. So that, you know, if they go in, and also I'm gonna tie it like a rope or something, because I could have had a rope around this and around like the kayak. If this would have popped off, you know, it would have been no big deal. I could have just grabbed it. Just a lot of things I could have done different. But that's part of the adventure. You make mistakes along the way and you learn. The guy was pretty cool about it, paid him $100. I also found out that was the very first thing he had ever found in the water. He was hoping to start a business searching for things. It's a pretty big thing down there, doing underwater recovery of objects. So he didn't even know what to charge me, and I just said, I'll give you $100. It's so worth it. Thank you so much. The guy was super cool. Being that it's been 11 months later, I hope the guy's business is up and going good for him. He deserves it. And it's pretty cool too, because I'm the one that actually found it using his metal detector. So I might have to pick one of those up someday just for fun to go out and search for stuff. Heading into the craziest public store. It's on the 2nd floor. The bottom floor is actually the parking garage here in St. Pete. It's so weird. It's all fancy. So weird. Even the carts go down the escalator. Unreal. And yes, this is the bad day. I'm filming from my cell phone because my GoPro is at the bottom of a lake. So the reason for the Publix being off the ground like that was Hurricane Irma in 2018 hit this area and wiped the store out, and so when they rebuilt it, they had to build it up off the ground, so they made the bottom level basically is all parking, and then there's some smaller parking out here, and then you just basically go down, up and down the escalator. But we went down, we had to go down the elevator because our car was so full. They said, yeah, you better take the elevator. So, can say, first time in a grocery store, got to go up and down, up an escalator, down an elevator to get our groceries out. It's pretty funny. Now another thing that we did while we were down in that area was we went to Fort Desoto Park. Again, I lost the footage from this. I didn't record a whole lot while we were there with the camera anyway, but there was a few videos showing the fort that's there, and there's a lot of things to do. There's a beach, there's just like a lot of picnic tables, pavilions. There's people that were there windsurfing. There was people that were, you know, obviously swimming, fishing. We talked to a guy who was doing some net fishing, and I'd gotten a really cool interview with him. Unfortunately, that footage is gone, but we had a really good time and spent the entire afternoon. And they also have a campground there that is very popular and a little bit hard to get into. We weren't able to stay there, hopefully in the future, but that's all worth checking out at Fort Desoto Park. on here? We're at Lake Madeira. No, not Lake.
Or Beach Madeira. I don't know.
It's been a long week. Madeira Beach. Yes, no lake. There's an ocean. Anyway, Madeira Beach, and the sand is so white.
I'm hot. My feet are already hot.
Is the sand hot?
Hang on.
All right. Yeah, well, if you go out there a little more, it won't be so hot. You burning your feet?
Yes. Perfect way.
Hey, you guys gonna try to survive the hurricane? We got the big one! Look out! Water temp is pretty nice, all things considered this time of year, but it's a little bit cool when the wind hits you, when the breeze hits you. Good little current today too. Doesn't take too much to carry you quite a ways. What are you doing?
If you're on a beach, you gotta bury somewhere here. Come on. Give me your dog.
Our kids ain't right. Not one bit. Oh, hi! Peekaboo! Alex, where are you?
Not here. I
see you.
In this little hole.
I see you. You're picking up some shells? That's one there. Ashton and I are going for a walk. It's very windy out. Woo! Kind of neat to see the wind just whipping across here, making these little sand dunes, isn't it? Isn't this beautiful beach something pretty that God made?
Yeah.
You like it? Surprisingly, there's not that many people out here right now. It's crazy. It's getting to be golden hour pretty soon. That's the best one? You're drinking alcohol there, buddy. Such a good dad. I'm letting my kids drink at such a young age. Aiden, you didn't like this?
It wasn't the worst, but I have tried grape wine and that was really good.
Ashton, did you like it? Did you like it?
They feel like applesauce.
Tastes like applesauce?
Honestly, the texture is it.
Ashton, did you get enough to eat? Are you okay?
Ashton, you're getting attention. I don't think that's
Are you okay, buddy? Did you get enough to eat? Do you even lift, bro? Yeah, there you go, Instagram. Oh, what a night it was. We had some very noisy guests staying in the camper cabins that decided to party well into the 2 o'clock in the morning hour and honk horns, yell at each other, get one hell of a bonfire going. It also included burning plastic and all kinds of other trash that was choking everybody out over here. Oh, tell you, there is such a difference between weekdays at KOA and weekends are not always that great. So anyway, we're gonna be getting ready to get out of here today. I did want to give a little report on the little sewer smell that we were getting at the last campground as well as here. I think just maybe in Florida with the ground temperatures being so much higher, maybe there's just more like gas coming out of the sewer. And so the little trick with the P-trap in the gray tank, that saved us again. So I did that right away when we got here. It seemed to take care of our problem, so we didn't have any more stinky. No more stinky in the slinky, huh, bud? So we're gonna go ahead and get things packed up here and get on the road. Sadly, our time here in Florida is done, and it is time to make our way north. We gotta be back up June 1st. So we got what, 2 weeks? I don't know, yeah, a week? No.
Yeah, no.
Next Sunday we start making, God, a week and a half we're gonna be back in Wisconsin. That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy and sad. So we got a lot to do and a lot of miles to put on to get from St. Petersburg all the way up there, but we'll be back. Just to elaborate why we put the P-trap in the hose was because we were getting that sewer smell coming into the gray tank, which was working its way through the vent, through the, what I call the attic, or the little space in between the actual roof and the ceiling of the RV, and it was just, it almost smelled like the sewer was seeping through the walls. Again, we haven't had that problem in the longest time, but since we've been in both places in Florida, it's been an issue. So I don't know why, but anyway, we're just sitting here. We've seen these rocks in here all week, but decided to pick them up. Sit long, talk much, laugh often. This one says, many have eaten here, few have died. Rocking FB 941. No idea what that's about. Guess I've never heard of that, but little messages that people leave behind. So they're not just random rocks sitting there. Because I saw them the day we pulled up. I thought, yeah, some kid like Alex, our one son there, he loves to collect sticks. So everywhere we've been, you'll know, because there's always a pile of sticks. Figured there was some kid that was doing the same thing with rocks. Well, this is very saddening. We're leaving Florida, but Aiden had a good point. What was that?
Is that at least we aren't getting chased out by a hurricane.
He's got a great point. At least we're not getting chased out by a hurricane. It has been a hurricane chasing us out,
Yeah.
or a tropical storm, because we're always here in the fall. We got that going for us. And then, Mama, what did you say?
Said at least we're leaving with the GoPro. And
We're
it's
leaving with the GoPro.
not in the water.
Because I thought of that the other day. I thought if I have to drive out of here and we drive by the spot where you can look out where I know it fell off the kayak, so if I had to drive out of here on Saturday and look at that spot knowing that my GoPro and all that footage, 3 weeks worth, is still in the water, it would be tough to leave.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been a good stay.
Yeah, the week was good. The weekend, super busy and crowded.
This place gets packed and it turns into a massive party. And again, I don't mean to like pick on the cabin dwellers, but they don't have as much invested, and I just think that they treat it like it's a giant party. They're burning stuff, and of course none of them that came in know about the massive fire that happened earlier this week. And it's a pretty serious thing. RVers, a lot of us, we get pretty worked up about that kind of stuff. They were burning. I think some of them got kicked out last night because they left at 2 o'clock in the morning. They were slamming doors, screaming, honking horns. And I went out there and they were backing into our site, and it's like, I don't know. I think they finally got tossed out, so.
Yeah.
Every RVer's dilemma. We are bingo on fuel coming up, and we are literally, well, we were just 18 miles from the campground and the Loves, which has the pretty deep discounted fuel for one of our fuel saving cards, fleet cards, and I had 29 miles on the gauge. That means I'd have 11 miles to spare. Now, I'm interested to know basically if a lot of you would just say, yeah, full send, let's go.
It's 14 miles.
I got 26. 14 miles and 26. So I slowed down to 65 to try to be a little more fuel efficient. When I say slow down, I usually set my cruise to 68 in the 70s so that I'm kind of keeping up with traffic. Sometimes if it's really heavy traffic, I will do 70 just so that I'm not creating traffic disturbance. Yeah, fuel level low, 25 miles.
Say 13.
13 miles. So I've never done this, but I'm also banking on the fact that we've got that card put in, the new card, and we also have the new tank, and I'm hoping everything is correct there. This truck was just in for all that stuff to be replaced because they had the wrong one from the factory, and Ford covered that. This is scary. This is a little bit scary, and it's kind of stupid to be honest, because it's part of the adventure, but don't make a habit of doing this because sometimes gauges are wrong. On top of the fact that after a whole day travel, we haven't stopped. We've been going for what, 5-6 hours?
Over 6 hours.
We've been going for over 6 hours. And your fuel pumps, everything gets hot, and they need that fuel to keep cool. So it's not a good idea to make habit. Another thing I'll say is if you're running a Ford or a Dodge, and I think Chevy, they're all using them at one point, the Bosch CP4 fuel pumps, they are not good to let run dry. They need that fuel to lubricate, and even at that, they're not lubricating as well as what they're designed. They're designed for the European fuel and not our stuff over here. So you do not want to run those things dry. So I got to be really careful, but this is crazy, and this is why I would want that bigger tank. Probably would have it in there already, but if we're going to be switching trucks, it's something we got to think about. So we got about 10 miles? 11 miles, and I've got 24 now on the gauge. We just came off 25, so
Should be okay.
should be okay. Can't miss our exit. Well, we made it by the hair on our chinny chin chin. You got hair in your chin? Don't like making a habit of that, but 15 miles till empty, so that's not too bad. I guess we're gonna save a few cents on fuel. I don't know what this one was.
Price is $3.12.
So $3.12, what's the normal?
Well, it says listed here, so I don't know if that's a discount or not.
Oh. And it's crazy because I was just telling her, this is the place that the guy was doing washing the truck while there was a line waiting to get fuel. And today there's a few open spots, but That is unbelievable that we're back here already. Where did the 2.5 weeks go?
Yeah, it goes fast.
Not enough time. Well, that was very uncharacteristic-like of me, whatever that word is. 31.7 gallons, which means at least we know we got rid of the 29-gallon tank, because that's what Ford ended up putting in here and they were not supposed to. That's why we had to get the new tank,
Right.
34 gallon. We pumped 31.7, so we had just less than 2 gallon, like 2.25 gallon just sloshing around in there. So yeah, I don't do stuff like that, and it's not good on your fuel pump either, especially after driving hot weather all day. Don't make big habits of that. That was good to see. At least we pumped more than 29, because a few times we were down pretty low, and I ended up getting up to like 26 gallons. And I was like, did they really put the 34? But anyway, yeah, the truck stop's not as busy right now today, so I'm sitting here for a minute. We're gonna go ahead and shoot across to the campground, but that was also the first time we've put over $100 of fuel in this thing.
Yeah, that hasn't happened.
At what, 312?
That's what the app said. Was the discounted price was $312. Pump price is $328.
Oh
So,
my God.
A little steep on that one.
Yeah, the prices of fuel are insane here, because we were seeing $2.95 for diesel most of the way through Florida.
Yeah.
So $328 and we got it for $312.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. This is the big reason why I want to get that big fuel tank, because it will allow you to get over 600 miles of range. Oh, look at, well, we made it back to the campground. We're back to the hitching post again, and look at who's here to greet us. We got horses. I guess these ones are gonna warm us up for Grandma's horses, aren't they?
Yeah.
Did you see that little one come running?
Yeah, what heavy? Oh my God.
What?
What heavy on there?
The hay bale.
That was in a hot kind of game.
Yeah. It's food time. We've been spoiled with no bugs for the last couple of weeks when we were down by the coast. We had a few in Tampa, but at the beach, not really, nothing, yeah. But yeah, they've got a little bit of mosquitoes and deer flies. I will say it's still far less than what we have in Wisconsin that I've experienced.
Little gnats.
Well, they have a lot of little gnats, but we just had deer fly or horsefly type thing attacking us, flying around us. But hell, if we were in Wisconsin, you couldn't even walk down the trail at this hour with, I mean, they would just drain the blood out of you. But yeah, we're just at the base of the big cell phone tower that's right next to the hitching post right off I-10. And it's just neat to look at. I don't know if the camera, if it's gonna show up because it's starting to get dark, but all the infrastructure that's needed just for one cell tower. All these buildings and all this stuff. I know one thing is for sure, I'm definitely not liking the whole central time zone. I mean, we're like 20 minutes over the Eastern Central Time. So like it gets dark here so early. It's only like 7:30.
Yeah.
We're used to like 8:30 and it's sun setting. Back to this time zone, but even up north, this time of year, it doesn't get dark till 9 o'clock, because we could go on our security cameras and it still looks like middle of the evening. We have to go home. We've only been gone for 5 weeks. I don't want to go home yet.
Someone's a little depressed.
I am. We've been out came here 3 weeks in. 2 weeks later, it's weird to be back. It's like, I don't want to be back. I want to be back here. I want to go see my mom and the horses, but I don't know. And I don't not want to go back to Wisconsin. Ooh, them flies are getting bad. They're going to start biting.
Yeah.
I know the video is not going to show up, but this little audio portion, now that we have a little more light, I'm just not wanting to head back, and I'm tired of having a day that we have to be back. Kind of like the whole just wander around, look for different places. We had an opportunity to stay at couple different state parks. I could have hosted the whole month of June. We could have stayed for free. Could have gained some hours for the Florida State Park system, which would have helped me get into the program in the winter. We've already made reservations in Orlando for most of the month of April next year. We have some other stuff already going on in Florida, so it's kind of like, it's not just Florida I want to be. Like, I guess we could be on our way out west, you know, and then the people, there's a lot of people, and that's the only thing with Florida, there is a lot of people where the beaches are.
Yeah.
And I don't mind it. It's just after a while you do want to kind of, we ran into people too in Florida that were there and they were saying we're ready to get out, ready to head out west and get out to some open areas and less people. So we're kind of the same way, but we got a lot of stuff to look forward to, a lot of adventures. We got upgrades with the camper, which I'm feeling already like I don't want to let go of this one, but I mean it's part of the adventure. Same with the truck. I love that truck, but it, you know, fortunately any other truck is going to be the exact same with the exact same things and work the exact same way. So we're not really changing up that at all. We're just basically getting a bigger rear axle, a dually, and that's going to allow us to haul more weight. So I don't know, you ready to head back?
It's pretty and nice. The weather's turning nice up there, so it, you know, we look forward to that. But the reason we have to go back is dentist appointments and finishing up some school stuff. So, you know, sometimes we have those dates, and then
got to finish up the school year. And a lot of our viewers, full-time and part-time, are going to understand this, or part full-time, whatever you want to call it. The dentist appointments and the doctor appointments, we're still trying to figure that out. I know a lot of people schedule all this stuff at the same time. We essentially did that too. We managed to get multiple appointments. Like one day I have to go to the doctor. It's a yearly thing we have to do for our insurance. It's a physical, just to make sure you're healthy every year to keep our rates down. So I got that, and I have a dentist appointment for a crown the same day. So I mean, that kind of works out. Like 2 weeks we've got tons of stuff going on with dentist and doctor stuff, and then at least that part will be out of the way. But it's tricky because when you're out, if you're going to be out for 9 months a year, you've got teeth cleanings to go do, you've got anything else that comes up, you know, I mean,
the annual checkups, and then of course like the kids if they're doing their shots, or you know,
we're gonna have to figure out that stuff. Like, this is stuff that, even though we've been RVing for 2 years, we haven't been gone like that. So we're gonna be having to learn that along the way, is trying to figure out exactly how to manage all this and not to have to be back. Just being back for a couple weeks is like, I mean, there goes a whole month of the summer, and anybody that's from up north knows the summertime is like 3 months. June, July, August. May and September, the weather can be a little iffy. There's still definitely camping months. So you've got 5 camping months. April, not a good camping month. You can get snowstorms. November, snowstorms. October, snowstorms.
Even this year, May was chilly and rainy and a little unusual for Wisconsin.
Up there, yeah. Last year, October, we had December weather. We had to winterize the 3rd week in October because it got really cold and snowed a lot. It sucks to have to go back for a whole week. I mean, 2 weeks, whole month. We're gonna be there like basically all of June trying to sort all this stuff out, but we've got to figure out the house, what we're gonna do with it. Are we gonna let it go? Are we gonna hold on to it? We got to figure out, you know, truck situation, camper situation. Do we want to keep the same truck, go with a smaller camper that'll work for now, but then we know we're gonna have to upgrade again in about 2 years? So it's just, there's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of stuff to figure out, put it in God's hands and see where it goes. But I keep reminding myself, it's only May, we've still got the whole season, and I've got a lot of stuff to do to get our channel, both the YouTube, all the other channels, the Facebook, the Instagram, all of our channel art, the GunninGamerz side of things. I still got to get that going. I got to kind of, you know, get things on Twitch moving along. Like, I got all these channels across the 2 communities, or the 2 channels, GunninGamerz and Gunnin to Go, so there's a lot of work to do. And we got to figure out a new curriculum for the kids' school,
which I've kind of narrowed it down to what I want to do for next year. So we'll keep that going.
Adulting.
Yeah, it's hard.
RV plus adulting. It's a rough life. First world problems. Well, we stepped foot in Florida for the last time for a long time. Till like, oh, it's gonna be January. We're coming back in like November, but we're gonna be in Alabama. Where are we going today, kids?
Grandma Horsey.
Grandma Horsey.
Grandma Horsey.
Going to Alabama. So we are Alabama bound, which we cut through a little bit of Alabama on the way here, just that little nugget. And we had a good time in Florida. And I'll tell you what, not ready to leave, but got to get back and start all the new adventures. And I found an F450 up by where we're moving in a Lariat package, but it probably has the console, but it's brand new on the lot, and it is going for only 14,000 more MSRP. So then you take about 5 off. We're looking at a $10,000 difference between that truck and what this one is trade-in for, which I know that's in a perfect world because they never want to give you very much, but this truck's value has skyrocketed about 20 grand since we bought it a year ago. And you normally buy a vehicle, you don't like, oh, I bought a vehicle for an investment. You could have bought a bunch of Super Duties last year. It's crazy. So anyway, we're gonna have to go back home and see. I think I'm gonna start really looking hard for that dually, but I'm already sad because I've already got a connection with Big Blue. So many problems. I get connected to everything. Connected to Big Blue, connected to the camper, connected to Florida. I even have kind of a likeness for my wife. Just a little. Goodbyes are always the hardest. So do you guys want to yell goodbye to Florida?
1, 2, 3.
Goodbye, Florida! Ashton did say goodbye. He's not one of us. Get out. He said he doesn't feel 100% today. Probably got the Rona, do you, bud?
When the winter chill freezes to the bone, you can always find your way back home to our little shelter from the storm. And if you're feeling roughed up by the weather, you can always wear your cold sweater. It's been waiting here all day.